Can you explain to me what happened to you at Brynwood? I mean, I read in the papers that there was a terrible explosion and that the building was destroyed by fire.
Yes, it was completely destroyed.
But, Sash, why were you there? I mean, after all this time.
Brynwood is not a hospital.
Alexandra, you were there as a patient.
Charlotte, it's a front.
A front?
Yeah.
A front for what?
For a covert organization that we know next to nothing about. Yet.
They were using it as a training facility, and we believe that they were involved in some kind of mind control. I mean, we're not entirely sure.
Mind control?
I've been having these memory flashes about the time that I was there, and vague, unconnected things, but they did something to me when I was a patient. I just don't know what.
And you think that this person, Guy, that he was part of this?
Yes. Yes.
We just don't know how.
I mean, when I was struggling with him, I remembered that I knew him, that he had been there at Brynwood at the same time that I was. And he said he trained me.
Trained you? For what?
I don't know. And then the gun went off, and Guy, or whatever his name was, is dead.
This is just horrible.
It was an accident, Mom. I killed a man. But that wasn't the first time.
Sash. Rumors are true, then?
Yeah. I pushed Jeffrey Ashford down a flight of stairs and I killed him.
Charlotte, had you heard this before?
I could never believe that my daughter was capable of this.
But that's when I had the breakdown and I was taken to Brynwood. What did the doctors say to you? What did they tell you when I was committed?
The doctors told me that you had a severe trauma. You had a series of mini strokes, and that your memory had been affected.
When I was there, they called me by a different name.
A different name?
Yeah. They called me Anna. Anna Devane. Did you ever hear that before?
Anna? No.
Anna, I have a feeling that there was a child involved.
A child?
Yeah. I have a memory of hugging her, little girl.
Oh. Dear.
You used to come to visit me at the sanatorium. I mean, what was it like?
Oh, it was very, very depressing. You don't remember anything at all?
No.
Well, I came there very early on, and then the doctors called me and told me that my visits were making you go deeper into withdrawal, and they told me that I should not come back.
So you didn't?
No. I mean, I just did what the doctors told me.
Oh, I'll get that. Don't worry.
I got it. Give me a second.
Charlotte, what's really going on?
What?
Something just doesn't add up. What really happened at Brynwood? Charlotte, what you did is incomprehensible to me.
Edmund?
Your daughter, your only child, she had a nervous breakdown. She's being treated at a mental facility close to your home, and you only visited her once?
Well, if you describe it like that, it sounds utterly heartless, but that's not what happened.
It's not.
No, of course not. I was worried sick about Alexandra. I called every day to see how she was. I went repeatedly to Brynwood, and the doctors constantly told me that I had to leave. They told me that my presence agitated her. And then eventually they told me not to come back at all.
You accepted that?
Well, I believed the doctors. I wanted Alexandra to get well. I wanted her well, and I wanted her home as soon as possible.
I just got off the phone with Ryan.
How's Jillian?
She's okay. I mean, she's a bit spooked, obviously, but apparently, thank you, they called the police, as you'd asked, to remove Guy's body. But when Lieutenant Fry arrived, the body was gone. And someone had already removed it.
It's really getting out of hand.
You know, I think that you should contact the American authorities, the CIA, FBI. They'll be able to take care of this.
Shh. Someone's outside. By the door. Go over here, please.
Let's all stay calm, shall we?
Don't move, please.
I'm Inspector Foster from Scotland Yard. If you'll allow me to remove my identification, I can prove it to you.
Allow me, please. It's in order. You can put him down, Edmund.
Apologize for the greeting, Inspector.
May I presume that you are Edmund Gray and Alexandra Devane Merrick? I was given your names by a nurse, Ames. She said you might know something about the explosion at Brynwood Sanatorium.
Yeah. Well, we're very glad you're here.
First of all, Inspector, it's not a sanatorium. It was a front for some sort of covert operation.
I know how it sounds, but it's true. We don't know who these people are, but they threatened to kill us on more than one occasion.
Perhaps we should start from the beginning.
Out of that building just seconds before it exploded. Actually, Alex had to almost drag me out of there because I was still drugged up from the injection they gave me.
Something else we just found out from the States was that Guy's body was removed from my house in Pine Valley before the police arrived. We can only assume that this organization, whoever they are, was tidying up after themselves.
Extraordinary. In all my years with Scotland Yard, I don't think I've heard anything like it.
It's all true, Inspector. And if you do a background check on me, you'll see that the missing years in my history correlate with what I've been saying.
I assure you I am treating everything you told me with the utmost seriousness.
We appreciate that, Inspector. Here's a list of our numbers, both here and in the States. Please call us if you have any questions.
Thank you. I'll take your information back to headquarters, initiate a full investigation.
I understand that there might be some security issues, but we'd really appreciate if you keep us up to date with your progress.
I promise you, Mrs. Merrick, I won't rest until I've gotten to the bottom of all this. I'll stay in touch.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Right, I'll see you out.
Sorry I got you in this mess.
Oh, no, don't apologize. I feel so overwhelmed that all this has happened to my daughter without my knowledge. Secret training, brainwashing. Should have taken better care of her.
She's remarkably strong.
You know, I'd like to believe that all this is for a reason. And that everything that's happened might ultimately benefit her.
I don't understand.
Indulge me for one moment. Yes, I thought so.
Thought what?
Oh, forgive me for being cryptic. It's a bad habit of mine. Comes from living on these moors too often. What I was trying to say is that maybe everything that my daughter has had to endure is that so that she could meet you. You love Alexandra, don't you?
I love Alex. You could tell that just from looking in my eyes?
I'm rather good at reading people. I could tell from the first moment I saw you together, and you're very protective with her.
Well, maybe I'm just chivalrous.
Oh, no, it's much more than that. You were very challenging earlier on about how many times that I had visited her at Bryn Wood, and that told me how much you cared about her.
I would do anything for your daughter.
I'm glad about that. Alexandra hasn't had not a very easy life. Unfortunately, my career took me away from home when she was growing up, and her father passed away. But I'm grateful that you've come along to take care of her. And apparently, she feels the same way about you.
Alex deserves to be happy. You know, when she smiles, she just lights up.
I think the best way to ensure that, take her back to Wildwind. Help her forget all this turmoil in her past.
She's forgotten too much, Charlotte. That's the problem. She needs to remember. She needs to remember why she was in Wales. I mean, what was that training for? Why did they do it?
But realistically, there's nothing you can do. I mean, Bryn Wood is rubble. Scotland Yard is already conducting an investigation. They'll contact you as soon as they have something. Oh, you'd both be better off in the States.
You're probably right about that.
Well, after all she's been through, I think it's time for her to get on with her life.
What?
What?
What did you just say?
I said I wanted Alexandra to have some tranquility in her life after all she's been through.
No, you said you wanted to get on with her life. It's an expression that Alex would use when she would start to remember her past. It was drilled into her to keep her from remembering.
But she used to say it every time that I went to see her in Bryn Wood. I mean, maybe that's where I got it from. It's such a common expression, Edmund.
You're right. It is, and I'm sorry. I apologize. There's a lot of paranoia going on these days.
Oh, hi. I didn't expect I had a very nice car, I must say. What's going on?
The jig is up. Your mother's onto us.
What?
Your mom looked me right in the eye, and she stared into my heart, and she could tell what was going on, and she knows how I feel about you.
What do you think?
I think that for you and Edmund to be living happily in Pine Valley is what I want.
Oh, sweetheart. It's wonderful.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's pack. That's all of it. We're just about ready to go.
Yeah. Well, I never get to spend enough time with you. It's lovely seeing you.
Oh, me too, darling. You know what I wish for you? A very uneventful trip home. You call me when you arrive?
Yes, I shall. And you know I'm going to start pestering you to come stateside.
Oh, well, if I can clear enough time off my schedule. And you, Mr. Gray, you take care of my baby. No more international intrigue.
I will do my best.
Well, you do that. I love you, darling.
I love you too, Mom. Oh, it's been so good to see you.